How many of you are unique? Yeah? Come on, we all are. Everybody put your hands up. This is going to be interactive. It could be painful. We are all unique, yes?
Yep.
Agreed? We are going to agree on that basics. Okay. We are all unique. Luckily for most people, there is only one of me. You'll realise as I go on through the evening why that's the case. But a lot of people say to me, oh God, I'm glad there's only one of you. But we are all unique, and that's great. And I think that's the best thing ever about the fact that we're working with people day in, day out, because they are unique. We don't know how they're going to react. We don't know how they're going to behave. And that's often because we have no understanding or no knowledge of what's happened to them before we came into their lives. So as consultants, the people we work with, they're all unique, and so are we. What about your businesses? Are your businesses unique? How many have got unique businesses? Go and put your hands up. Really? How unique? Is there nobody else in the world that does anything like you? Anybody got a business that nobody else does anywhere in the world?
Not as good.
Not as good. Not as good. Go on, you've got a business that nobody else does anywhere in the world?
Absolutely. I sell equipment to cricket umpires. And
However,
I manufacture at least 3 items that nobody else retails.
nobody else retails. There's always one in the room, isn't there? Damn. The reality is the majority of businesses that I speak to and consultants that I work with who think they're quite unique in what they do, they're not. I'm really sorry, but they're not. I'm not unique in what I do. There are other people who do exactly what I do, they just don't do it with red shoes on. So that's the reality, that we're not unique. And that makes life quite difficult because, I don't know about you, but when I go on any marketing training courses or, I go to conferences and there's be somebody talking about marketing and promotion and how to brand and how to do this, they always go, and find your unique selling point. And I'm sat there going, I'm really sure what that is. Really sure what my unique selling point is. I can tell you what my best selling points are, I can tell you what features I can promote, but my unique selling point, I've just got an issue with the word unique. If people want to use it, that's their choice, but I personally don't like the word unique in marketing. I was working with a client the other day. I'll tell you this little story about my client who decided to tell me, Rebecca, we're good to go with the new product. And I said, that's great. He said, we've got our USPs. Oh, here we go. So go on then, I said, hit me with the USPs. And he told me his USPs, and they're a print company. He likes to think he is. So I said, okay, so you're a print company, what's unique? Tell me. And he said to me, we've got the best piece of equipment for printing in the world. And I went, nobody else has got it? Well, some people have got it, but not many people have got it. It doesn't really make you unique, does it? Because I couldn't get it somewhere else. And to be honest, it's ink on paper. I don't really care what machine it's been through. So I wasn't sure where he was unique. And he went over and over all the different reasons why he was unique. And in the end I said to him, why do you think people come to you? Why do you think people want to buy from you? And let's work from that. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about this evening. I hope you realise that I'm not one for just going along with the flow. I like to question things, and that's what I've always done. So I'm happy for you to question me. So hopefully you'll interact. People often say to me they've got a unique name, a unique strapline, a unique thing. I gave myself my own brand. I called myself the Red Shoe Bizwoman. It's not a lie, I do wear red shoes. I don't like brands that lie. I've always worn red shoes. I've worn red shoes for the last 6 or 7 years, no other shoes. Before that, some other shoes, but mainly red shoes. The red shoes comes from being very young. Do you remember that feeling at the end of the summer holidays that you used to get? You knew school was starting back. You knew school was starting back because your mum would do the face of, we need to go and buy the shoes. We need to go and queue and get the shoes. We get the uniform, we get the shoes. But that year when I was 6, I already knew which shoes I wanted because I'd already seen them. They were in the Start Right windows. There they were, right in the middle. Red Mary Janes. Oh, I wanted them. I was going to have them. So when we got to the Start Right shop and the lady does the measuring and says what size you are and you're chuffed a bit, you've gone up another size, you can tell your mates I'm a bit bigger. Hey, it counts when you're small, okay? Not one size more. The lady then says, what shoes do you want? I said, the red ones, the Mary Janes. And my dad just went, oh no. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not having them. We'll have the black ones. But I wanted the red ones. I wanted the Mary Janes. I'd seen them. I knew that's what I wanted. But the black ones it was. And my dad wasn't a man for messing with. He was one of those men that you knew if he said no, it was a no. It didn't matter if you asked nicely. It didn't matter if I smiled at him. It was a no. So I had the black ones. Dad didn't know that I wanted the red ones. I never said I wanted the red ones that much. He didn't understand what it was. And it was years later that I actually explained to him about the red shoes. And he said to me, do you know why? Why do you think I couldn't have the red shoes anyway? Any idea? They don't polish. I'm clumsy. If you scuff red shoes, you can't polish them. If you scuff black shoes, you can put black polish on, they look okay. We couldn't afford another pair of shoes before Christmas. That was it. That was the only reason why I couldn't have the red shoes. He didn't understand. So the red shoes have stayed with me, and I was determined to have red shoes. It wasn't that long after my 24th birthday that I was given my first board position. There's not many 24-year-olds in a boardroom in Wales and a woman. I'll tell you that for nothing. The rest of the people in the board, well, most of them were near retirement or at retirement or retired. They were white, middle class men. Very lovely men. You know, some of them have still been friends with me to this day. They support me in everything I do. But when I walked in that boardroom that first day, I thought, this is a bit odd, isn't it? I don't really fit in here. But I did my best because I knew they'd all be in their pinstripe suits. I knew they'd all have their white shirts on, and so did I. I was ready to go. Oh yes. I was going to sit around that boardroom and I wasn't going to be intimidated by them in their suits and their shirts and their nice snazzy ties. I even had my cufflinks on. But you know what I had underneath that boardroom table? I had my red shoes on. And the red shoes made me smile. They gave me the confidence. And they still do to this day. And that is it. When people ask me why the red shoes, that's all it is they make me smile. Do you know what? When everyone stood on that tube earlier and everyone looked miserable as heck going home from work, I looked down and thought, I've got my red shoes on. I'll have my red shoes on later as well. And that's it. So the brand for me is not about telling you what my unique selling point is. It doesn't really tell you what it is I do. Do you know what? Heck, as a consultant, that's really great because I can take that brand with me for whatever I want to do. I can change, but my brand can follow me. And that's the only reason why I've done that brand. So that's my brand, but I wanted to explain to you a little bit about business for me and branding and what it is and what it isn't. I'm going to take it as read that we kind of know a bit about branding and we know all what branding isn't. So for me, what branding isn't, is it isn't about your logo. So my brand might be those red shoes, that's what you see, but the brand for me is something more than that. And I'll explain it to you in a bit. So the colours are great, yeah, you can all choose your colours, that's fine. The logos, the straplines, the adverts, all of that stuff. It is about your brand, I get it, but it isn't branding. This is the frou-frou of business. It's the frou-frou of marketing to me. It's lovely, don't get me wrong, I make my bread and butter out of this stuff. When clients come to me and I talk to them and I work with them, the reality is they do need these things. They do need a website, they do need adverts. But it's not what I mean when I talk about branding. When I talk about branding, for me, it's much more about how I make my customers feel. And you know how those red shoes make me feel? That's how I want my customers to feel. I want them to smile and I want them to have the confidence that when they go out there and work with their own clients and their own customers, that they make their customers feel good too. So if I can make my customers feel good, they can make their customers feel good. Because for me, branding is about feeling a connection with your client and wanting to purchase from your client, from that person. Okay? So it's the personality of your business, if you like. It's the whole thing. And yes, the frou-frou stuff comes into play, but it's the whole big thing. It's about building trust. You know, for me, in business, when somebody lets me down, that feeling that I have, that's the feeling that carries with their brand for me. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about how when people let you down, that you'll really, really struggle to change the connection they have with your brand because it's a feeling rather than just a fact. The formation of relationships then are based on emotions within business. And a lot of people in business say to me, I don't believe you. Well, that's fine, but this is just what I feel and what I've found in the last 20 years of working in and running businesses of my own. I'm going to take it as read, by the way, that as consultants, as businessy people, some sort of another, you're all just really shit hot at what you do, okay? Because if you're not really shit hot at what you do, I'm a bit stuck. Because when clients come to me and they say, Rebecca, we've got an average kind of business, can you make it better? No, I can't, that's not what I do. Some of you as consultants, that is what you do, and well done, because that's really, really hard. What I want to do is work with clients that are already really good. I'm just going to help them get really fantastic. So I'm kind of presuming today, with everything that I do, that you're really good at what you do. Because it doesn't matter how hard you work on your brand, on your communication, or on anything else. If what you provide, service or product, is rubbish, the rest of it is just pointless. You're just throwing money away. So when people say to me, business isn't great, but what we're doing, we're going to have a rebrand, we're going to have a new website, and we're going to have a new business card. Things will be great. And I go, okay, why isn't business good? And I go, I think we just haven't got it right yet. But what? Well, the marketing, the branding. We're going to change the marketing, the branding, it'll be great. When we look at the business is the problem. So until the business is fixed, the frou-frou stuff, the branding stuff, ain't going to work. Because we're already saying that branding is about trust. So I can get you to trust my brand, but if then I deliver and you go, well, isn't that good? You're not going to come back to me again. So business is an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, we've all chosen to be involved in business. Why have you chosen to be involved in business? What do you like about being in business? You don't like it at all. You're going to go in day out and do your work and you don't like it. What do you love about business?
It's exciting.
It's exciting? Challenging?
Independence.
Independence. Oh, I love that. Do you know what I like? The fact that you don't know what's going to happen day in, day out. The other thing I really love about working with businesses is that there's so many contradictions, isn't there? And there's so many times when you go, that should work, that business idea is really great, it should work, but it doesn't. And other people you meet and you go, that's a really wacky idea, how on earth is that going to work? And it does. That's the great thing about business. Is it doesn't matter how many business schools teach you business and business studies, and you can have all your MBAs in the world. The reality is that some things work, some things don't. Hey, Dragon's Den. Like it or loathe it? I don't like being myself. But on Dragon's Den, do you remember the guy with the trunkies? Do you know the trunkies? Yeah. Everyone know the trunkies? Suitcases for kids, they can sit on them, elephant faces. The guy with the trunkies, bless him, when he went in there, to be honest, when he went in there, he'd already had a couple of disasters. All right, so business hadn't been that smooth, from what I can gather. When he went in there, they tore him to shreds. And while they were tearing him to shreds, Theo pulled the handle off of the sample, and he was done for. They all turned him down. Now, they could have turned him down for all sorts of reasons. We don't really know, because we don't really know what goes on in Dragon's Den. We only see the nice bit, entertaining bit, don't we? But what we do know is that he's gone on to be extremely successful millionaire. You can't go through an airport lounge now without some. And it's never the kids pulling the chunkies, it's the mum. Oh, Dad, and he's pretending he hasn't got it. But anyway, chunkies, that was a missed opportunity for them. But I've got to admit, when I saw that one that day, I thought, that's quite clever, that. I like that. It's going to make you smile, doesn't it? And he's gone on to do it very well. What he also believes, by the way, is that you should try and make your customers smile. And if anyone goes to a meeting in his office, he's got an elephant slide in his office and he makes you go down it before he'll talk to you. I like that.